Hello everybody, Twano here, and welcome back to the La Royale dev server. And today we're taking a look at a Swedish premium tank, the Sherman 3/4, which is coming to the Swedish tech tree as a premium at 3.7 for 1300 Golden Eagles. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure if this vehicle existed. Basically, Sweden did get a few Shermans. They had an M4A2 and an M4A4, but without the turret. They also had a British Firefly and then later one of the versions with the 105mm howitzer. I'm not sure if they ever had one in this configuration. I mean, maybe they bought a turret and fitted it to one of the vehicles they had without the turret, without the weapons. But yeah, I've never heard of this one, to be honest. But we'll take a look at it. And as you can see, it has the 75mm gun. So your best shot is the APC-BC shell, which has 90mm of penetration at 500 meters. And in addition to that, you've got your high explosive, your smoke, and your AP shell. And you've got a coaxial 7.62mm machine gun, but interestingly, not the 50 cal on the roof. So this is at a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to fighting enemy aircraft. Of course, that's not its main job, but Sherman can, in a pinch, do a little bit of damage to enemy aircraft if they're directly attacking it. And 3.7, the armour isn't that bad, 63.5mm at the front, and of course it's sloped. So you've got effective thicknesses of about 80mm around the upper frontal plate, and even better as you get down, you can even get to around 100mm at some points. The side armour, again, isn't the best, 38.1mm, and the rear also 38.1mm. But again, that is the same as with other Shermans. And of course, you've got your turret, 76mm, along with a few little smaller spots like here, 50.8mm, 51 for the sides, and 51 for the rear, and 19.5mm on the roof. And interestingly, you can see this doesn't have a machine gun. So that also helps to improve the frontal armour, because that could potentially be a bit of a weak spot. As for speed, it can do a max speed of 26 miles per hour or a little under 42 kilometers an hour, which, if you go to the American tech tree, is a little bit slower than the M4A2, but is faster than the M4 and M4A1. But as you can see, it has a very powerful engine, 442 horsepower, compared to the American ones, which are generally, I think, about 400 to 420. And then lastly, we have the crew. And this is a bit of a weird one because you've got your 5 crew like on regular Shermans. You've got your driver and machine gunner in the bow, and then your loader, gunner, and commander in the turret. But of course, there is no reason to have a machine gunner because, like I say, there is no bow machine gun. This, of course, does make it a bit more like the Sherman Firefly, which, of course, also doesn't have a bow machine gun, but that uses that space for extra ammo. Of course, the Swedish variant just uses it for a random person. Apparently, they just decided they should just have somebody coming along for the ride, apparently. We're just going to quickly show it off in test drive, but it does perform pretty much as you'd expect from a regular Sherman. The only sort of big difference is, because we're missing that 50 cal, when you're going up against the soft skin targets like this, the coaxial machine gun just isn't enough to cut it a lot of the time. Meaning you would have to switch to HE shells a lot more often. And we'll just show off the top speed. It does accelerate and maneuver pretty much as a normal Sherman would. And as you can see on flat terrain, good acceleration. That top speed was only about 26 miles per hour or so, and we've reached that pretty quickly, at least on flat terrain. I'm just going to quickly divert onto the cross country just to see if we can keep it up. We're still doing about 21 miles an hour, maybe a little less while going up the hill. And going downhill, we've once again reached our top speed of 26 miles an hour. So, yeah, performs pretty much as a normal Sherman would. But like I said earlier as well, this does look a bit weird with the smaller turret on the bigger hull, which I don't think it's going to make any difference tactically, but just a personal observation. So overall, this is a very nice addition to the Swedish tech tree, although, like I say, I'm not entirely sure about the historicalness of it. And I think this means now that the Sherman is in every tech tree, because of course Israel has them for the M51s and such. So yeah, this is a good addition. Like I say, not sure about the historicalness of it, but it'll be a nice thing to play in the game. Anyway, just a quick video for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you'll join me for the next one. I've been Toreno, and I'll see you next time.